Hey, hi, good evening. It's me again, Mission, and today I'll share with you about the top three reasons why your diet fails or why people fail in their diet. So, welcome to the episode of Workout from Home with Mission, and today we will share what are some of the three reasons why people can't keep off their diet, how you can avoid some of these mistakes, how you can find the diet that is best fit for you, and also last but not least, how to fast track your results. Okay, so you just tune in, you're in for a treat. So if you want, you look at the end of this whole video. If you think someone can benefit, feel free, drop a share or a comment or anything, right? So that can let more people know, so that we can together avoid this common problem, if you will. Now, maybe before we start, how do we define the diet as failed, right? So, of course, it's a very wide, broad range. I would say a failed diet, based on my personal opinion, is your diet that means, let's say you're going on a X diet, right? So once you do an X diet, once you quit X diet, you will gain all the weight immediately, and then you cannot sustain. This is what I call a definition of fail. Definition of fail means you're not successful, right? After not just in the short run, but also in the long run, right? So what I'm going to share here is that if the maybe three reasons, very very common mistake, three common reasons people fail. Reason number one. Now these three reasons are not in particular order. I think all are related or somewhat linked to each other. So I'm not saying number one is more important, number three is less important. I think they are overall all equally important because all are linked together. Alright, so the first reason why most people fail is usually number one, they think it is some sort of magic. They think that is the answer, right? Now, why is this considered a failure? Because if you just do it because you think that there's some magic properties towards it without understanding how does the diet work, not what method, like how does the diet help you in your fat loss, right? So example, you cut down some food, is it the food that causes you to fat, or is it what causes the thing to make the diet different, or how you're going to lose weight? So you have to understand how the thing works, right? The easy analogy is kind of like I use a bit of stock market, for example. Now you prefer someone, if you want to buy a stock market, right? You want to buy a stock, you prefer someone, you will learn to do your own research first before you go and buy, right? You don't go and receive a tip from someone, your neighbor next door, or some tip from the bus driver, and then you just want to buy the stock. So if you do like that, there is a high risk you are not understanding what is happening. You are just praying and hope, because speculating, right, in the world of buying stocks and stuff. So kind of same when it comes to dieting. When you are dieting, number one, you have to know how does this work. So for example, again, before I start, just a quick disclaimer, I am not a nutritionist. I am just sharing, just giving you some ideas on how some of this diet works, right? So for example, you hear people say they will cut down all the carbs, they will go ketogenic diet, right? So ketogenic diet is a high fat, low carb meal, right? That's how the diet works. So what is the magic? The magic is not because carbs are making you fat. It's not because of it's not because fat, burn more fat, whatever that means in their advocate. The real thing that it happens because is you somewhat control the calories, right? So if you understand that to be on fat loss, you need to be on a caloric deficit. When you understand how this ketogenic is the method, when you know how it's done, so cut down the carbs, eat a lot of high in fat, then you understand it works because you are finding a way to reduce calorie, because you less one option of food to eat already, right? So this is what we call number one. You have to understand how does the diet work. right? And if it works for you, and if you think you can continue in the long run, keyword is long run, yeah? You have to be very consistent. If not, if you're not consistent, you will get very short results, very short-term results, but it's not sustainable, right? So remember, you have to understand how the diet works, and don't just, I follow it because someone on the internet says so, or because someone gave me a tip, right? Just like the same, I don't think you want, I don't know, someone from random street and give you family tips like that, right? So it's the same thing. You want to make sure you do a bit of homework, just understand how this thing goes, and can you see yourself doing that diet? If your answer is yes, good, do it, right? So for example, if you like ketogenic diet, you can go without carbs, you enjoy eating high-fat food, and you're okay with that, then by all means, ketogenic might be the one for you, right? Or vice versa, if you are doing fasting, right? You eating in the morning is just, eating at night is just not your thing, right? So what is the magic here? The magic, is it because fasting has some special property, or is it because by default you are reducing your calories because you skip one meal at night? Now, if you understand rationally that it's because of the calories, then fasting may be your thing, because nighttime you don't enjoy eating, so you're only going to eat morning and afternoon. That is perfectly fine. If it fits your lifestyle, if you can sustain it, you can do it in the long run, good. That is how you will not fail. So number one is, you got to know what or how this diet works, okay? Now, number two is reason number two why most people don't get results is why they fail their diet. Because number two, they want fast result, okay? So people will expect, example, if you have been overweight for the last 10 years, you are expecting, your expectations are too high. You are expecting 2 to 3 months, you are going to override whatever happened in 10 years, right? If you are having this kind of mindset, I would suggest you to be realistic. Instead of seeing the long picture where, yeah, seeing big picture is important. If you set the goal very high, it's hard for you to reach. If you don't reach, you get demotivated. Then you stay off track. Then you will consider fail the diet because you cannot sustain to it. So instead of tell yourself, I want to lose 10 kilo, I want to lose 10 kilo, why don't you change the effect, go short term. So for example, maybe 1 month, I want to try to lose 2 kilo, 3 kilo. Start small. Even if it's just 1 kilo a week, which actually is a lot, right? But if you only lose, let's say, 1 kilo a week, it's still progress. Always remember, you want a little bit, get all these small wins first. If you're going to set the target very high, you won't reach very far also. So you got to understand your expectations. Set some expectation, don't put it too high. Give yourself some easy shots first, then you go and aim high. So putting this as an analogy is the same. Imagine you want to be rich, right? Or let's say you open a business. You start your first business, let's say it's a grocery, right? You start your first grocery shop. If you're going to set a goal within 1 year, okay, or within 3 months, you're going to open 10 outlets at one go, and all of them will be, very good high profit on this. So if you have this is a very, as you can see, it's not very realistic. So you got to keep your goal a little bit realistic. Try to do simple things. So maybe, like I said, instead of just using the grocery example, if you want to open your first shop, maybe just try to make your first shop profitable first, right? Give it a long run and see how it goes. You then start another one and so on, right? So same, just like fat loss. Start to lose 1 kilo first and see if that 1 kilo you're okay with it or not. Okay as in, can you sustain it? Can you see yourself doing for the next, whichever you go, 3 months, 4 months, So be very realistic, So you got to understand is, don't fall into the trap of number one, not knowing how the diet works, okay? You don't need to go and study very in detail, but at least you know what is the main factor. Number two, as we mentioned just now, is you want to make sure that you set the expectation low. If you set very high expectation, you will bound to fail. You tell yourself, example, use vegetarian for example. You think that eating vegetarian because you want to try to lose weight. You eat vegetarian, you understand how calories work, you nail down your nutrition. But the problem is, 1 week you stand at the scale, it doesn't move the weight, and then you feel demotivated. You want to give yourself a little bit long run, right? Always ask yourself question, do you want to lose weight? You can do it the fast way. I have seen people do fast way, but there's one problem. Do you want to lose weight just for that 1 or 2 months? Or do you want to lose the weight and get to keep it off in the long run? We're talking about years and years. The choices are yours. If you want to do a 3 months quick one, go ahead. But after having the 3 months, if you fail to commit, I can assure you your weight is going to regain back very fast. If not, more than what you started. And that sounds very scary, right? So do it small, do small little step, okay? It's like trying to be, imagine you're an F student, you fail in your class. You want to straight away aim for, okay, next semester I want to get an A, to be an A student. That is going to be very hard for you. Why don't start small by passing the exam, try to get a D, then a C, a B, then you rise up to an A and a top A. Like this is more practical. Same like your diet, so don't set the expectation too high. What you can do is, you still can add some, you still can stay to your goal, break it down into weeks or months, see how you can do it. And just nail all these small little checklists, like a lot of my clients go into checklists, very simple checklist, kind of like, did you do your workout? Did you eat properly? Did you eat healthy eating? How's your sleep? If you tick all these boxes, in the long run, regardless of what diet that you choose, you should be able to see long-term results. Okay, so this is where I'll slide into reason number 3, why people why people fail at their diet is because, so number 1 we have talked about, is because they don't know what is going on, they are just using magic, right? Number 2 is they are, they are setting unrealistic expectation. And number 3, this is where I'm going to share, again, all of them are equally important, yeah? Number 3 is, you got to be consistent. So what's the meaning of consistent? Consistent means you do something in the long run, very consistent, okay? Notice I used the word consistent. I did not use the word perfection. So example, if you have 10 days of dieting, let's say 8 of them are on point, 2 of them is a little bit loose, okay? Let's say example, your friends have a birthday, they give you a slice of cake. Now 8 out of 10 is still not too bad, right? So you got to understand that it's okay to slip up a little bit of mistake, not too much, a little bit of mistake, you own it up and you move forward. That is how you are being consistent, right? Remember, you want to be consistent. Consistent beats perfection every single time, right? I always see people who try to be perfect. The more they try to be perfect, the worse result they actually get, because they cannot stay to the goal that they want. So give yourself a little bit of time. Try to, at least go step by step. Try to be very consistent. Consistent is key. I cannot emphasize this a lot of times, right? Example, you always see, it's quite a sad fact, whether you're working at home or you're working out at the gym. I've been working in the field for a few years. I always notice this problem. New member goes to the gym, or this person decides to work out. The first week they were fantastic. They will come like 7 times a week, 2-3 hours a day. Awesome. Second week, same. Third week, then they start to say they are busy or whatever, then the 7th day become a 5-day. Hey, still not too bad. Fast forward, month number 2, 5 days a week become 3 times a week. Then fast forward, month number 3, 1 month they become 2 or 3 times. Month number 4, they don't come already. They only come like 1 or 2 times a month, if they ever come, right? So this is not a very consistent way of doing it. So how, if you want to fast track your goal, is do the following. Start small. If you can only work out 2 times a week, good. Start from there. If you only can do 15 minutes a day, no problem. Start from there. As time go by, you want to find a way how you can add a little bit more, and a little bit more. By doing so, this will allow you to reach to your goal in a more consistent and if not, a more winnable one for you. Right? So you got to set yourself up for success. The reason why most people fail is they don't set themselves up for success. They expect the results very fast, and then they always believe in magic because they don't do their homework. They just do it because someone says so. They scroll something on social media. They want to find answers, but they don't do the homework. When you do your homework, rest be assured that is where you can understand how this is going on. Right? So to recap everything, 3 reasons why people fail their diet. Number 1 is they are not consistent. We talk about that. Number 2 is because they don't understand how the diet works. That means they think it's magic, right? It's like the only way to do it. And reason number 3 is because they're setting too high expectation. So if you want to see result, it's just to reverse the 3 following. Number 1, be consistent. Right? Every time tell yourself, you want to nail in like 80-90% on track. It doesn't have to be 100%. 70, if you can only do 70, it's okay. Start from 70. Go to 80 in the long run and work from there. So number two is instead of wanting high expectation where there's nowhere to meet an expectation too high, lower down your expectation. See yourself every week what you can do and to see the results. Okay? And number 3, last but not least, is you want to know how the thing works, right? If you see example, you look at clean eating diet, right? It looks like it's good. So when you go to clean eating, maybe you do some homework. Go to the internet, type clean eating, see how it goes. Can you see yourself doing it or not? You enjoy doing it? Good. If you don't enjoy, go straight away, jump from regular diet to there. Start small. Maybe you just change one of the meals. Work from there, right? Let's say if you know, let's say you want to do vegetarian. Don't go straight away. All 3 meals all vegetarian. Try one meal vegetarian first. See if you like it or not. If you like, good. You can do it. Then move on to the next meal. Try to do it again, and then finally whatever meal, all of them are vegetarian. Work from there instead of I want to do vegetarian, I want to do vegetarian, I want to do vegetarian. Next day, cut down everything, only vegetarian. That is very unsustainable. So the goal is to set yourself up for your success. Alright? So that is all for me today. Thank you for your time. So if you have any questions, as usual, feel free to drop a comment or catch you next time. So next week, the next episode, I'm going to do it on Thursday. So Thursday, I will do some how to fix your form. I'll be showing one of the common mistakes and how to fix them and how to improve the lift of press using the shoulder. Okay, so tell you some common mistakes, how you can fix them, so that not only you can prevent injury, you can also be stronger and more efficient at every single movement. Alright, so till then, thank you so much, and I hope you guys stay safe. Thank you.